Marco is here. Okay, so yes, finally I did get your scene, and it's in front of me. But I just have to address some stuff that it's kind of being on my mind. Yes, you did send me your stuff. I don't know, 2 days ago or so. I couldn't open it, or and I told you that. But like first, I was kind of puzzled why you are sending that stuff to me. Because you are in new class, you're not on my list of this month as a student. So I'm just wondering if you have instructors in this new class for this month. What, are you communicating with them? I mean, what exactly is the reason why you are sending that to me? Because you're not saying anything. You're just sending stuff. Wouldn't it be nice if you actually ask me if I would be okay with, helping you this month? Because I don't know, maybe because you like my style, maybe you like the way how I was explaining to you, and maybe new instructors are not doing that way. Maybe they're doing differently, so you're not so comfy with that style, whatever. But just asking would be nice. And also I did ask you again today, right? I asked you a question in email. In which class you are this month? Did you answer? No. So that's not really that's not cool, man, because the communication is important, right? You have to know how to communicate with people, and in this case with your instructor or mentor. So if you get a question, then you answer. Just like if you would ask somebody, you would expect some answer, right? Not people just ignoring you, although you did ask. So yes, and yeah, you sent me twice, and I couldn't open it. And I asked you, did you follow instructions? You didn't answer, but you didn't send me correct one. You again send me the way how I cannot open. You knew I am not going to be open because you didn't follow the instructions. I don't know why. Maybe you lost instructions. Maybe you delete the instructions, and that's why I thought maybe he deleted, so let me send him again. That's what I did, and then finally you did correctly. But you could told me like, hey, I'm sorry, I deleted last month emails. Please, can you send me instructions on SyncSketch how to submit? You could. Why not? But you didn't. So that's not cool, again. All right, so let's talk about your scene. Let's take a look, and then let's talk about animation. Okay. I don't know if this is a dialogue scene or not. It almost looks like he's talking to somebody. Because like, what you're doing, man? Blah blah blah, 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 because I can squeeze you. Don't do that. I mean, he kind of looks angry and pointing, and so and the fist is here. It looks like he actually is talking, but there is no sound, so I don't know. When animator is animating a scene with dialogue scene, right, with a sound, well, you have to first submit your play blast with a sound, and of course it has to be animated. I mean, it has to be posed out on the keys that you are making, so that I can see, or if you're in a studio, right, so that the director can see how that's going to look, if you are going in the right direction or not. So that is important. Now, another thing is that already spending whole month with me, you knew that I'm asking for this first 2 weeks for animation to be in stepped tangents. And this is a very first, what I would call, as we call it, not just me, as we call it, the blocking stage, right? So for first week, we are blocking our animation, and you should be in stepped tangents. There is a reason for it. I don't know if these instructors that you are now in this month asking for that, but I do, and I do have a reason for it. And the reason for it is that right now, because you did send me an auto where you get all in-betweens, I really don't know which pose is yours and which one is Maya, that Maya did. Which one is yours? This one or that one? Or this one? Which one? This one? That one? Which one you did? Which one Maya did? I don't know. How would I know? So, for one of the reasons why we submit, at least in a step, is that I have easier time to figure out which poses you did. At this point, I don't want to look Maya poses. I'm looking at your keying of the scene. You animating this scene. I'm not looking at Maya animating this scene. I want to look at your animation, your work, right? That's why it should be stepped. I mean, after all, if you really prefer working in auto, you can work in auto. I would never know. But when you are submitting for review, then submit in stepped, at least first 2 weeks, right? Okay. Now I can see that this character is a angry character that walks forward a few steps. Now that means that walks are important part of this scene. You can't make this scene in a way how you are planning to and to look good. And the reason is because you do not know the poses that are needed to be there. There are 4 poses of walk. 4. First one is contact. And then second one would be down. The third one is passing. And the fourth one is up. That's right, up. Of course, now the fifth one, and I can't draw no more, but the fifth one actually is the first one, this one, but flipped, right? If the left leg on this one was forward, now on this one is back. That's how we make steps, right? Left, right, left, right, left, right. So you have to know why this pose is called contact and how to construct that pose. Why we have down pose, what is the purpose of down pose, and how to make it. What is the passing pose? What's up pose? Each of these 4 poses has a reason to be there, right? So when you start making walk, you don't go and just make these poses as they show up here in this order. That's how they show up when we are actually walking. But when we are actually making a walk as an animator, animating, then first what we do all contacts. That's the first thing. This one, and then this is maybe with the left leg forward. This one is with the right leg, right? So these are done first. And there is a reason why we go with a bit opposite, not opposite, but a bit different order, is because as you can see right now, second, we're going to skip down and we're going to go passing. So passing is going to be done as a second passing. And why is that? Because it comes right in the middle, halfway between those 2 contacts. So once when the passings, all passings are done, then you go and make down pose. So down pose again is easier to do this way because again it's going to come halfway. You see, halfway between contact and passing. So this one will be constructed third one. And then finally we can go and make up pose, and again it's going to be halfway between this passing and this contact, new contact with the opposite leg, right? So this up will be halfway, boom, boom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the order how you animate. Because this way there is no guessing game where exactly down pose should come if you go with a like this order. If you have a contact and then you make it down and passing, it's all kind of guessing game. The point is that the character should walk like that, right, with the up and down movement, and those increments of him, of this guy in this case, right, should be kind of even, and that's why this method here is helping. But you have to know the poses. Here, why this leg is sliding forward. Well, it's sliding right now because it's in auto tangents, right? Hopefully you're going to make a step that will this foot will go like this with a and it has to first make a contact like this, and then after that it can go into this, right? Some anticipation probably would be nice, but also what is incredibly important for walk is, in order to move foot anywhere, you have to move hips on opposite side. So like, for example, when this guy is, making this step forward with this leg, the weight of upper body has to be moved over this one. So this one becomes the leg that is holding the whole character, right? So this one is holding the whole weight. It's supporting leg, while this one is traveling from back forward, right? This is passing pose, for example, right? And why is called passing? Well, from obvious reasons, because the foot is passing from back forward, and that's where the name comes. Interestingly enough, also, as the foot is coming off the ground, the hip actually leans that way, down. So there is a constant shift of the weight that is happening in the hips. So what's going on here? It looks like a contact, but contact is here. So how this whole foot and the heel slides back? What's going on here? This is like a Michael Jackson's moonwalk. Why is he sliding here with this foot? Yeah, so You'll have to go back and brush on your lectures of walk, how to make a walk. It's not going to be possible to do this without really knowing how to make a walk. There is a system. You don't have any kind of system here. You're just kind of guessing game. And you don't even understand that once when you put a foot down to contact, if that is the contact where the foot first time hits the ground, that heel cannot go back anymore. It has to just go down from that point, right? So if it hits here, that's a contact point, and it can just go down. It's here, right? A bit more back, but this heel and this heel, they have to be on the same place. There is a slight sliding at my drawings, but I have a hard time to make it precise, but that's the principle. So let's say you want to make walk. Like I said, first you have to do all, you have to make all contact poses, right? So here we are. There is a one contact pose. In contact poses, the front leg is straight. It hits with the heel, toes are up. And back leg bends a bit, and heel is up and toes are down. So this is opposite, right? Here toes are up, here toes are down. So that is contact pose. Contact. So now we make another contact. So now we assume, right, that this foot will eventually get flat down, and then it's going to get again in the next contact just like this, right? So these toes here will be here. Little toes are down, and then heel goes up, right? So the same thing, except that the legs switched. So if this was left leg, now this one is right leg, right? And like I said, you do all these contact poses, as many as you need to do whatever that character is supposed to do with a if he has to get in the room and walk across the room and then maybe pick up the phone on the opposite side on the wall or whatever, right? So these are all contacts. Boom, they're done. Now let's do passing poses. So I'm going to use a different color. So passing pose will be, we know this foot will come flat. We know that passing poses have flat feet. So as the down pose, just as the word is saying, it's the lowest one, and basically is showing the weight of the character, and it's showing the gravity that is working on us in the world, right? So it kind of goes down, and that helps to create that curve that as we are walking up and down, right? So at this point, yes, the hips will go a bit down because that is the lowest position. The leg will bend. The back leg will leave this place. It's going to be probably like this. The toes could be exactly where they were before, or they could be a little bit forward and a little bit up, but never back, because then it would look like chicken walk. So here we are. That's a back leg. That's a left one, right? The left one here. And you can even, if you want, you can put a little bit bend on the back, so that shows how the gravity is working on us. So this is down pose. Yellow is down. So you make another down here, and as many as you need down poses, right? Just as I said, if you need 5, you do 5. If you need a 7, you do 7. And so on, right? Here would be another one. But it's easy to construct, as you can see, because it is right in the middle. You see, the down pose comes right between two contact poses. So now you take, I'm going to take red color, and I'm going to construct. Okay, so the heck, I made it completely wrong. I just realized that. These were supposed to be, passing poses. Okay, where is the... Okay, so scratch all these yellow, what I was talking about, all right? How did I get to this? That's a good point. Jeez. Okay, so just remember about these contact poses, okay? The rest erase. Erase, please. All right, so there you go. So now we have contacts. Now we are going for passing poses. Passing pose, again, is in the middle. The leg is straight. This one becomes straight leg. The hip will be a bit higher because the leg is straight. In contact, it's a bit lower because both feet the legs are a bit stretched. The more you stretched, if you would stretch, this contact more, then it's going lower and lower, right? I mean, if you have so low, you would have, big stride. It's like ballerinas, whatever they, in order to do those things, pirouettes or whatever, sometimes they go so low. So that's why contact are a bit higher than, the contacts are a little bit lower than passing. So passing, this is passing. Straight leg. The back one now is on the way to get from here to there, right? Arc. So in this way, in this particular pose, it's going to be halfway. You see, just the foot is right under the body. So we make all passing poses. And the passing pose, by the way, is the only pose where the character is real height, because it's standing on a flat foot and the leg is straight. That's the real height of the character. If character is, 4 feet, 5 feet tall, that's the only pose out of these 4 poses where that is happening. Because, again, contact pose is the legs are spread a bit, and that is lowering the pose altogether. Down pose that I'm doing right now, of course, is going to be the lowest because just as the word is saying, it's down. So now as you can see, that foot is flat. The front one becomes flat, the leg bends, and the back one flips, right? The foot starts leaving the place where it was on the contact pose. Again, it comes right in the middle, And yes, at this point, this drawing is becoming a bit confusing. But the whole point is to remember is that everything is like half, 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 half. So you're getting these like even kind of spacing. And then finally again, let's say green maybe, you get up pose. And up pose is the highest, just as the word is saying, because the purpose of up pose is to propel the character into the new step. And how it happened that is the highest is that the leg is still straight and the heel starts to go up. It's not as high as on the contact, but it's, let's say, halfway between being flat and in contact, right? So, and the passing leg is halfway between where it was on passing and the new contact. So as you can see now, there is that arc that is happening as the character is walking, right? So first what you do, first you do contact, and then you do passing, and then third one you do down, and then fourth one is up pose. Also, what's important is that, as I was talking before, that the weight shifting is happening, right? So you have character, for example, that is standing just like this, right? Well, in order for this character to lift a foot, doesn't matter left or right, he has to move his hips. He has to shift the weight on one side. For example, if he decided to lift this foot up, then he has to move these hips on this side. So this leg becomes supporting leg. Hips will move this way and they will lean a little bit down, and only then you can lift this foot up. And with the spine controls, we can adjust spine a little bit that way so that there is not too much bobbing with the head as the character is walking. So the most of the movement actually is here, from one passing pose to the other passing pose when he's lifting the opposite leg, right? So that is the movement, left, right, that is happening while the character is walking, and we are calling that shifting the weight of upper body, right? Of course, as he's going forward with the leg in a contact pose, he is also rotating his hips. So there is a rotation happening, right? In this case, a rotation is this one, right? Rotation Z. But rotation Y is also happening. Rotation Y is like that, right? Because the leg that is going forward is pulling the hip forward, and the leg that is staying back stays back, right? So that is created by a rotation Y. Where do I here. So again, you have to follow these that process of making these poses, because as you can see, this is not working. Plus, I think you are lower than the ground here. That foot over there on the back also is penetrates through the ground. The whole thing is, you can't move, you can't lift this one off while this one is not securely on the ground. You can't slide this one. You can't have both feet sliding. Then, of course, that slide is also out of question, but also that back foot cannot be flat. The heel has to go up in order to accommodate that bend, but also the contacts are with the front straight leg, not bended. Something like that. Well, I just said cannot be flat, and then what I do, I make it flat. There you go. So front toes up, the back heel up. So that's what I would recommend for you to attempt, right? And you know, after contact, even if he wants to stop, he has to kind of go in down pose, little, you know, and then finally he can go up, right? Whatever pose you want to, you know, like, hey, you, whatever, you know. You see? Hey! Hey, you! Hey, you! Right? All right, that would be all for now. I hope you can, you know, follow the instructions. I know that the sketches that I was making walk are a bit messy, but just try to follow, you know, the order of making those poses, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna look all right. Okay, that will be all. Thank you.